Hi everybody, I'm Brianna and I'm here to help you expand your spiritual awareness and your consciousness. Today I am really excited to dive into the different types of animal spirit guides. There are many different kinds of animal spirit guides who have different gifts and purposes, and they all aim to support and guide us on our spiritual paths to help us restore our power and show us the beauty and power of nature. So we're going to break down spirit animals, power animals, totem animals, shadow animals, and also familiars. It's important to decipher the differences between these kinds of animal spirit guides so that you can better understand their gifts and their messages and have an awareness of when they manifest for you. Even though all of these types of spirit guides have their own unique purposes and gifts, they are all an extension of source energy in the same way that we are. Think of it this way: source energy is communicating with you through the uniqueness of that animal spirit guide. Thus, the wisdom is kind of filtered through their essence and characteristics, which makes the experience and the messages and the gifts unique. Something else that these animal spirit guides have in common is that they choose you. You don't choose them. Also, a side note, I will be saying the word animal quite a bit. So let's get into the 5 different types of animal spirit guides. Number 1. Spirit animal. A spirit animal will repetitively show up for you, bringing you messages in your physical and energetic worlds, like in a dream. Spirit animals can have a great impact on us for a number of reasons. For one, spirit animals help us create a deeper understanding of our own intuition and gifts, because we will be asked to learn to understand the signs, the messages, and the energy that that spirit animal is bringing us. Over time, and with the experience of your awareness, you'll be able to understand these signs and messages more clearly and quickly, and be able to learn your lessons more swiftly. For example, 6 months before my familiar Binks died, we were being visited by owls pretty non-stop, not just in our yard, but when we went camping and things like that. There was even a moment where Binks chased an owl off of our yard. It wasn't until after his death that I realized what the owl was bringing me and what that wisdom was. Now I understand that when one or more owl visits me within a short period of time, it means that something is ending. Another type of spirit animal that visits me is a whale, more specifically an orca. They visit me in my dreams, and they always visit me within a pod. And this is the only way that that spirit animal visits me, and I'm still learning to decipher their messages. Essentially, a spirit animal is a messenger, and they will show up for you within divine time in a way that they choose. It's not something that you can control in any way, shape, or form. Number 2. Power animals. Power animals are a type of spiritual partner that you can call upon when you need assistance and support. And you can call upon them in both the spirit world and your physical world. The purpose of a power animal is to guide us and assist us, offer us wisdom and knowledge, and they act as kind of a type of oracle. Power animals hold the wisdom and the answers that we are seeking, and so when we connect with them, that can really help guide us on our spiritual paths and connect us more deeply with our purpose. Connecting with a power animal and nurturing that relationship will ultimately help us to restore our power, gain a greater sense of self, and also a greater sense of the spirit world and also the natural world. A power animal can really manifest in any kind of way, spiritually, energetically, physically, and they can show up as an entire species of that animal. What's unique about power animals is the fact that we can invoke them and call upon their presence to assist us and serve us within specific moments, within specific experiences, or times when we need clarity or anything like that. And this is something that shamanic practitioners in particular will understand. Our power animals are spirit guides that live within the spirit realms, and so when we enter into a shamanic journey, they are there waiting for us to assist us in whatever way that we need. For example, one of my power animals is a butterfly, and I call upon my butterfly for very specific types of shamanic healing within a shamanic journey, but I can also call upon my butterfly for other things. Once I needed clarity about something that I was going through, I really wanted a validation and a confirmation that what I was experiencing was real. And so I asked for my butterfly power animal to show up and land on me and provide me with that validation. 3 days later, a butterfly landed on me, and that afternoon, I also found an eagle feather, which really felt like an exclamation point for that experience. And the footage that you're seeing is that actual exact moment when the butterfly landed on me. Sometimes a butterfly will show up for me and it is not some overtly mystical experience, it's just a beautiful butterfly. But because I have the awareness that the butterfly is one of my power animals, I'm able to take that opportunity and that experience to really witness her and witness her appearance and her characteristics, and that helps me to nurture my relationship with the butterfly and get to know the actual animal itself. So because I'm aware that the butterfly is my power animal, whenever I have a butterfly experience, it is meaningful to me, and I'm able to really take that wisdom of the animal and the spirit guide and integrate it into my life and into my path and my being. As well, you can have more than one power animal. You can have several. I do. And the thing that's really beautiful about the relationship with a power animal is that once you are connected with one, it's like that spirit has imprinted on you and you have this everlasting bond. One of the most common ways to connect with a power animal for the first time is for a shamanic practitioner to enter into a shamanic journey and retrieve your power animal from the spirit world. To do this, a shamanic practitioner will enter into an altered state of consciousness and go on a shamanic journey, and they will travel the spirit realms and retrieve your power animal for you and bring that essence back for you. Definitely check out my offerings in the description box if you want to learn more about power animal retrieval and how it can help you restore your power and connect you with the most truest parts of yourself and provide you support on your spiritual journey. Number 3, totem animals. Totem animals are commonly thought to be a representation of your own energy reflected in an animal. A totem animal might have similar characteristics, needs, and desires as you do. Their essence is a reflection of your essence. As well, a totem animal can also act as a protector or a guardian. You can have more than one totem animal, but it's really common for someone to have one totem animal that they really embody throughout their life. People who have totem animals are really able to call on that spirit to assist them and bring them wisdom that they can download, and they are really able to embody the essence of that animal because it is a reflection of their inner world. A person might embody their totem animal through the things that they wear, through the sounds that they make, through the instruments that they play, or the way that they move their body. There are so many ways that they can do this, and it's often very ceremonial. Totem animals are very much connected to indigenous cultures, and it was very common for these tribes and communities to connect and bond over a totem animal. As well, many of the beliefs about totem animals really intersect with the purpose of power animals, so you may see some overlap there. Number 4, shadow animals. A shadow animal represents a challenge that we need to work through, and so their presence isn't always welcomed. They might show up as an animal that you fear or even dislike. Shadow animals really show up in a plethora of ways because it represents your personal energy, but they really are teachers. Shadow animals really remind us that we need to work through our blocks and our barriers and our fear of doing the inner work. A shadow animal can also show up as a warning, and this can be really nuanced because, again, the shadow animal is very personal to the person. Say, for example, you really don't like spiders, and every time you get in your car, there's a spider. Even if you continue to clean your car, the spider is always there, or a spider is always there. The spider could be showing up to ask you to look at the webs that you're weaving and look at the patterns that you are creating and see where you can bring more balance into your life. So a shadow animal can show up as an aspect of nature that we really fear or dislike, but ultimately it is showing up to teach us a hard lesson. And lastly, number 5, familiars. A familiar is a spirit guide that intentionally manifests in this earthly realm as an aspect of nature to support a witch on their magical path. A familiar is one spirit guide incarnating as one being with a consciousness. A familiar will most likely show up as an animal, but depending on the witch's beliefs, it can also show up as land or a tree. A familiar fully chooses you, and they show up with divine time and divine orchestration. It is absolutely not something that a witch can control, but I do recommend doing the inner work, do the shadow work, so that you can better recognize a soul bond like a familiar bond when it is in front of you. I am actually about to release an entire series on witches' familiars where we are going to dive really, really deep into what they are, what their purposes are, and what my experiences have been. So definitely stay tuned if you want to learn more about familiars. So I hope that you enjoyed this video and learning about the different types of animal spirit guides, their purposes, and how they can show up for you. Definitely leave some comments below about what your experiences have been, or if you have other perspectives that you'd like to share. I would really love to hear that. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. Stay tuned for my familiar series, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.